begin.
So we're recording now?
We are.
We're recording now?
Yes, now.
Now?
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. Oh, another episode? Let's start that over again. Fuck off.
That's never. I don't think we've ever treated it as another episode of Another Gaming Podcast.
I know, that there's just too many anothers. Too many anothers. Alright. Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 36 of Another Gaming Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Christ, coming to you from deep in the heart of Brood 5 of the 2016 cicada madness. It's insanity outside my house. I have 10 trees on my property, and I literally got swarmed by hundreds of cicadas yesterday mowing the yard. So I'm staying inside, we're recording a podcast. It's terrible outside. Absolutely terrible. But
Dang,
enough about me.
I want a live report from outside.
What?
I want a live report from outside.
You want to no? Well, they're all asleep in the tree now. Like they go to bed like 7:30.
I'm picturing whose line is it anyway? When they do the newscast thing
Green
and
screen.
see what's behind them.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wish I could get them on video, but they don't show up on video because they're kind of small. But when they're in your face, they're huge. Anyway, you've heard two other voices on this recording already. One of them is one of my co-hosts, Steven the Laggy Gamer.
And I have a feeling I am lagging behind in the audio, but hopefully it'll go okay.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of delay. But oh, Jesus Christ. Here we At least he lives up to his name, right? At least he's got that. The other voice you heard... Oh, God. The other voice you heard cackling in the background is none other than Doomwave's Chance himself.
Hello.
The nostrils of doom.
The nostrils of doom.
Mm-hmm. God, that was kind of wet and disgusting. Anyway, we're off to a banger of a start here. How you guys been?
Good. Tired. Busy. All of the above.
Yeah. I completely understand that, 100%.
Steven? It's been a weird 6 months. Let's say that we're already into June now.
A weird 6 months. Yeah. It's been weird.
I don't know. It's just been weird. Like just not making videos, not playing a whole lot of games, but just incredibly busy with school, and then you moved and I don't know what Steven's doing.
Steven's doing something. He's got 2 kids, school. I guess we should talk about that. Why I called you like 40 minutes ago. Your lag is getting worse.
Talking, so I wasn't going to try.
Oh. Well, Steven, how are things?
Hey, Dustin. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Things are good here in Virginia. No cicadas have taken over our plantations yet. I'm just getting. I thought pictures. We have our good buddy Return to Mother Base celebrating an anniversary tonight, so I was going to blame his pictures for dump dinner interrupting the lag there, but I think I'm still going to be lagging no matter what.
He's sending you pictures from his anniversary?
Well, it's an interesting celebration they're doing. I hope I can put it out there. They're actually seeing American Psycho the Musical tonight. Didn't even know it existed. Oh, that's cool. So hopefully
I thought I heard like a rumor of it, but I don't live in New York, so I don't get to do these cool things. Yeah. So anyway, Chance kind of touched on a subject there that I think we could start off. All three of our sort of, I guess, unintentional hiatuses from YouTube. All three of us have been kind of, I guess, slacking off. I know for me personally, I've been ridiculously busy with a house and a child's dance recital and other things. And I don't know. I've just been kind of feeling like it's kind of freeing in a way, but I've gone back to the YouTube being just a hobby type thing instead of me feeling like, oh God, I gotta get a video out this week. And it's been very refreshing for me and very relaxing for me. But at the same time, I feel bad because there's probably I doubt there really is, but there's probably somebody out there going, man, I wish he'd make a video, So I apologize if that one person out there who I think is probably like, oh man, I wish he'd make a video. But that probably doesn't exist.
The whole Dustin Christ fan club is weeping right now.
Well, no, but like people will comment on your video, hey, make more videos and stuff like that, and it's just like, like putting it's so ridiculous, like setting my phone up against two N64 games and then sitting in front of it and talking is like such a mountain to climb right now. I don't know why it is, but I know I've been been slacking off pretty bad in this regard.
I think for me, it's been more just not having the drive to even want to do it. I've kind of lost, at least on my side, just inspiration. I've had plenty of time. Just honestly, I've just had no drive or inspiration to do it. I've had drive to want to do the podcast, but just getting down in front of a camera and just seeing, I'm enjoying so many people who I've kind of grew up here with in YouTube doing it so much better that I'm like, well, there's no need for me now. The YouTube is in good hands. Like, I actually had an impact. But people like Flossenberf and Ultimate Floyd 1 and just SNS Mapper, just a bunch of people who kind of came up after us who we brought into our little circle here. I'm seeing them flourish, and it's like, you know what? I don't think I need to be here anymore. I got people I can enjoy to watch, so why even
my work
do it
here is
anymore?
done.
So
Steven just rides off into the sunset.
Exactly.
Well, for me, as far as like making videos goes, it's not that I've lost motivation necessarily. It's that I do have a sincere lack of time between my job, which I changed jobs several months ago, and it's much more demanding of me now, which is good. I mean, I feel a lot more fulfilled in the position I'm in as opposed to my old job, so it's a good feeling to be busy with work and also very busy with school and being married, and we are involved with our church and a few other things. So there's just a lot going on that I lack a lot of time to play games, and when I do finish them, it's oftentimes it's been so long since I started them that even if I wanted to sit down and record a video, I would kind of be at a loss for what to talk about. For instance, I started Halo 5 in like November, and I just finished it like a month ago, and I don't think I could have sat down upon finishing it and record a video that actually made sense. I don't know, I need to go back and play it again, and I think if I did go back and play it again, then maybe I could sit down and piece it all together. But yeah, I just feel like I feel like I can't possibly make a video that would make any sense besides like pickup videos, and I know people are just sick of those. So
yeah.
So I just don't do anything.
I would like to take this moment, though, to recommend, since our podcast has been kind of on a little... We have big breaks now from here and there, but hopefully we always say we hope it won't happen soon, or we can get things more regular. But if you need one to listen to, the Limit Breakers podcast, who gave us a big shout-out in one of their episodes, with Cameron, Steven, and Justin, that podcast has been awesome. And so if you're looking for another one to listen to, I'll highly recommend you go check those guys out too, because those guys have been great and really enjoyed the shout out they gave us. And their first episode talked about MMOs. What better way than to get a genre that I love than to get me hooked into a podcast? So if you're in the need for one, I can recommend those guys too. Go check them out.
So anyway, now we got the prerequisite we're dead, but we're not really dead, whatever, type stuff out of the way.
We're like zombie mode.
I feel like we have been. I feel like we've been in zombie mode for a while, and I'm sure some people out there are happy about that, but other people are probably like, crap, I really like these guys. Where'd they go? So that's where we're at. We're just all busy with life, and YouTube is, none of us have started doing this for a career, so we're doing it as a hobby when we can, when the mood hits us. So the way it should be.
This is true.
But anyway, so what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I know Chance is chomping at the bit to talk about something, but what do we want to talk about?
I'm chopped at the bits to hear about that something. You've kind of played that little something too, so I don't
Let's
know
not
why we can't
sugarcoat it,
talk
okay?
about
We're talking about Doom, okay? Let's just get it out there.
Yeah. I feel like we wouldn't be able to. I mean, the entire episode we'd be talking about other things, and a chance to be like, I'm just waiting for Doom. Just waiting for Doom.
Let's hear about it, because it's a game that I think most people were kind of skeptical about, because, I don't know, when we would see advertisements and stuff on TV about it, I never got to see gameplay, and the footage we saw at, like, E3 and stuff didn't seem like legit gameplay, and I think everyone kind of had their concerns of, what's this game going to actually be like? Turns out, it's amazing from what I'm hearing, so go ahead, gentlemen. Tell me how amazing it is.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to Chance, because obviously he's the expert here.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert on anything, but
Jesus,
I would definitely say that I'll say, that I actually didn't have many like hardcore expectations. I just wanted it to come out, and I wanted it to be good. Good enough in my books, which I know I keep the keep the level pretty low there, as far as my good and bad scale goes. But I mostly just wanted it to be fun, and I think that it far exceeded the fun factor. Like, I think it is just hands down fun game, and that's something that gets so lost to me these days in games when I see these new releases come out, and it's like, okay, it just looks like a lot of work to play that game, or it just looks like it's not finished, not polished, and it's like it's just ugly, and I think that Doom is exactly what it wants to be. Like, I think it is every bit as fun as the original Doom, and it doesn't try to be something that it's not. There's not any phony RPG elements that try to somehow lengthen the experience. There's a ton of secrets that are just silly, and they just harken back to itself, to the original Doom, and it comes in all shapes and sizes, from the collectibles to like secret areas that you open up, and like little sound cues that are like sound cues from the original game. Like, it's just loaded with nostalgia, but at the same time, like, all of the guns feel really good, and it doesn't feel too weighted down like a lot of the military first-person shooters kind of make you feel more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like more realistic, to where it's almost like a simulation. It doesn't do that. It doesn't try to do that, and it's just, the environments are great. It's just, the enemies are great. It's just every bit as good as I had hoped, and I hope that other people kind of see it in that same way and don't think, wow, it's just a kid's game. You just run around and shoot demons and stuff. It's not that cool. But what more do you want from a game like Doom?
Yeah, I think that's a really good assessment of it. It's exactly. It's in a lot of ways, it's a lot like Wolfenstein, where it came out, it did what it did, it didn't do anything it didn't really push the genre forward or whatever, but everything that it did extremely well. Now, I haven't finished it yet. I still got a ways to go in it, but it's getting really addictive. And you said, it doesn't have any RPG elements to sort of, pad the game out. But in a way, it kind of does, because you go back and replay the levels to find all those secrets, and you explore, not really RPG, but more just, I guess, exploration stuff to sort of pad it out. And that's where I've been really slowing down in going back through the levels and trying to find all the little Doom guys and, the various secrets throughout the stage. And the talk about how it doesn't feel like sluggish like a lot of modern shooters do. I actually had to turn the sensitivity on the stick way down, because when I first started playing it and I was trying to aim and look around, I mean, I was just flailing around everywhere.
Yeah, it's very quick.
But it's very, very quick. But it does what it wants to do. It comes out. It's like I said on the AGP page, it's big, it's loud, it's kind of dumb, but it's it wears all that on its sleeve, and it knows exactly what it is.
It does nothing new, but it does the old very, very, very well.
Yeah, it's
very polished.
Yeah, it's big throwback to like the way shooters used to be.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people had kind of a sour experience coming off of a game like Doom 3, which in a way did try to be something that it wasn't before necessarily.
It was more survival horror.
Yeah. I mean, but very, very minor. Like they only did a few little things to make it seem survival horror, but at the core of it, it was still just run and gun, machismo first-person shooter, which I really still like. So as soon as I got finished with the game, I actually said on the AGP page that I finished it, and the first thing someone said to me, Scott said, "Okay, now I got to ask the question: is it better than Doom 3?" And
yeah,
and I do have to say, yeah, I think it is. It's a lot better than Doom 3, but that's not to say that I dislike Doom 3 at all. But yeah, this game is right up there, just behind the original for me, and I think that's fully because the first one is full of such nostalgia for me. Like it's my favorite game of all time, and it's going to be near impossible to dethrone it. Even with this new game being as good as it is. I mean, and I guess going back to what I said about the RPG elements, I just really meant like there's no grind necessary. You can go through the game and not do any of that stuff and do just fine. I mean, sure, the boss battles may be a little more difficult without a few of the weapon upgrades, but your bullets do the same amount of damage in the beginning of the game as they do at the end of the game. So there's no grind necessary. You can blast through this game and not explore anything, because it's very linear. You go point A to point B, done. But the
levels are huge.
The levels are gigantic, and it's because they give you this opportunity to just explore and find all these collectibles and secrets and like the data logs and things like that. There's tons to do if you want to do it, but to me, it doesn't feel nearly as heavy as like other Bethesda games, which is one of the things I kind of worried about. It's like, okay, are they going to try to make this bigger than it needs to be? Are they going to try to combine Doom with Fallout in a way? Are they going to try to overthink this in my own perception? And the answer is no. They know the audience for this game, and they made it exactly that. And I've put a lot of time into multiplayer too, and I think more people are down on the multiplayer aspect of the game, because there's some certain mechanics that people don't enjoy as much with the multiplayer. But I'm specifically talking about the campaign with everything that Dustin and I both just talked about. It's very, very, very good. I loved it.
That's the one thing I've read that is the weak point of the game, which is the multiplayer, I guess.
Yeah.
So what about the?
It was apparently made by a different developer. Like it wasn't the same people that were doing the campaign that did the multiplayer. So it was like conflicting, and I'm not really sure what 100% of like the things that people don't like. But I know that within the multiplayer matches, specifically team deathmatch, because that's the only ones I've really played. Every so often, it's a time thing where it's called a demon rune, and depending on what level you are, you have personally unlocked certain demons that you transform into, and you run around and you get to slaughter people as this demon. I'm imagining it's a little bit like Evolve, where you play as the monster for a little while. But it's a time thing, and if the lower level characters are like the Revenant, and then the Baron of Hell, and then you unlock the Mancubus, and then finally is a demon called the Prowler, which is not even in the campaign. It's its own thing, and it's kind of overpowered, I think. It like runs really fast and like grabs you and pins you against the wall and kills you instantly. and I don't know. That's one of the things. And then I think a lot of people are disappointed that it wasn't a like an arena-based game like Quake, where the weapons spawn on screen, and everybody has equal opportunity to get to the weapons, and like control the maps and control the items and things like that. It doesn't work quite like that. It's got loadouts, and depending on what level you are, again, you have access to different guns. And also one of the things I don't like is that as a loadout, in the very beginning, level 1 character, you can use a rocket launcher as your loadout, so you can just run around with a rocket launcher and blow people up in the face. It just is a little weird. It seems like it just seems like an odd choice. And granted, unless someone's like point blank, you got time to dodge a rocket. It's
right.
They're not gonna nail you across the map if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Or if you're moving, you're probably not gonna just get nailed by it. But it just seems like an interesting choice, like to allow you to just have a rocket launcher. It does seem like the type of weapon that, like, if it was available, it's laying around on the map somewhere, and you pick it up, and then it respawns, in X amount of time. So the loadouts were the big thing, and the demons were another thing that I heard a lot of complaints about. But I really don't find them that annoying, because everybody does have equal opportunity to get to the demon rune when it spawns, and then everybody has equal opportunity to choose their loadouts once they unlock the weapons. So it's no different. That part is no different than any other major first-person shooter multiplayer. That's a staple in Battlefield and Call of Duty and things like that. You pick your loadout. You pick which guns you want to use. So yeah. I guess I don't totally understand that complaint. But it is there. But it is fun. It's, like I said, it's fast paced, and it's
yeah. If you stop moving, you're dead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that even like when it says that in one of the little help taglines in the loading screens, it's like, if you stop moving, you die. Keep moving.
What do you think about the what?
Since I have to try to pick a spot of Paul's to jump in, I'm sorry. I have some questions real quick. Well, first and foremost, the online, when you reminded me of being able to take over a huge gym or something, totally reminded me of Aliens, Colonial Marines, when someone would get the queen, and it would take forever to get that queen down, charging you or whatever it was.
Yeah, it is similar to that, but it is a very time heavy thing. Like, once the time runs out, that I think it's like a minute. Like, once it's over, it's over.
And a question about the campaign. So Doom 3, I really enjoyed it, and I thought back in the day it was pretty well received. I didn't know that some people kind of shunned against it because it maybe scared away a little bit. But in Doom 4, are there like dark parts like in Doom 3? Because I enjoyed the like dark and survival horrorness of it. Doom 4, is there any like dark scenarios, or is it all like that orange kind of red setting?
It's pretty bright. It's pretty bright. You're either in like a science lab, or you're outside the science lab on Mars, so it's like a red dirt kind of thing, or you're in hell. But the hell is not it's not the same as it was in Doom 3. It's not just lava and dark brimstone and all this stuff. It's not like that. It's more. It's even hard to describe. It's just different. It's not quite as your typical view of hell. It's different, and you do spend a lot more time there too. It's tied more to the campaign that you go back and forth. And minor spoiler, but this is told to you in the very beginning of the game. We're pretty close to it. What's happened is that humankind has figured out how to use this portal to their benefit by weaponizing demons. And one of the people in charge of the UAC company, like, goes rogue and bad shit happens. That's essentially, who'd have thought, using demons for weapons something would go wrong, but that's what happens. Way. And your character is like some sealed away soldier who is the doom slayer, like, and the demons don't want you to come out because bad things happen to them when you come out. So with the very opening screen of the game, you're like coming out of this stone sarcophagus looking thing, and it's pretty awesome. But it's not survival horror anymore. It's not at all. There's no flashlight at all. There's no light on your armor. Everything's pretty bright no matter where you are. So yeah, it's definitely a step back in the direction from where they came as far as genre goes. They've stepped back away from the survival horror and back to just the balls out, guns blazing.
Cool.
What do you think, Chance, about the the flashy kills? I forget what they call them in
glory kills.
But glory kills. Now, for me, I kind of feel like these, in a lot of ways, these are really overpowered.
Yeah, they are.
And maybe later in the game it gets a little leveled out, but in the early part of the game, it's because
it becomes. Go ahead.
I was like, I'm not even worried about being low health ever, because all I have to do is glory kill something and I get like 50% health back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you glory kill for health, or you chainsaw kill for ammo.
Oh, you chainsaw kill for ammo.
Yeah. So if you get low ammo, save your chainsaw for when you're low ammo, because then you get a chainsaw kill and they spew ammo everywhere. So
okay.
Yeah.
I have not used the chainsaw. I've got it, but I've not used it very much.
We're back to a game style where you kill an enemy and they drop something that you need. They drop ammo or health, and maybe it's just because, full disclosure, I played on easy. Just because I wanted to just take my time with it and go through it and explore for secrets and not worried about dying every other second. Now, since then, I have started again on a harder difficulty, just because, okay, now I've played the game, now let's get into some challenge here.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I'll get to in a second. But the glory kills are definitely overdone, and they become a necessity. Another minor spoiler, every boss that you kill, you have to glory kill them to kill them.
I see.
Yeah, you shoot them to a certain point, and then once they get to that point, you have to glory kill them. If you don't, then they get some health back. Like, they get unstunned or whatever, they come back, and they're ready to kill you again. So, yeah, every boss is an absolute, must glory kill. You have to do it. So it is a little overdone. That's one of the things I can definitely chalk up to the negative category, the cons. Although it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just, I don't know, it feels overdone, like you said.
Yeah.
But one of the other things it's for me, this was exceptionally frustrating, but I'm sure for some people they enjoyed the challenge. But it was these rune challenges. Have you done any of those?
Rune. Oh, well, I don't think I've unlocked them yet.
Okay. Well, they're like you get to a point in certain levels, and there's just like this rune, like a shiny green stone, like hanging out, and you go and touch it, and then you go into a specific challenge within. Like, it takes you out of the world and into this little challenge arena where you're supposed to do a certain thing. You're supposed to kill this many demons this certain way in this amount of time, and then if you do that, you unlock one of these rune skills, which are kind of like passive skills. Like the first one you get is it's called like vacuum or something like that, and that just means that you don't need to be as close to ammo and health pickups for them to just automatically get picked up. Like, you can be a little further away from them, and they just suck to you. And passive skills like that. That's what the rune skills do. So you feel this like necessity to do these things because you want to unlock them, and so you can use them to your advantage. But some of these challenges, man, they are just really tough, and I get to in a frenzy, and I just feel like I have to get this done when really it's a totally optional thing. And oh man, it's just so frustrating. There was so many times where I wanted to rage quit, and I don't typically do that in games. I don't typically get that mad, but it's one of those things where you're just doing the same thing over and over, and if you don't do it perfectly, you don't get the reward. So, oh man, specifically one that I remember was there's not even any enemies in this one. You just have a very short amount of time to collect all of these runes that are just hanging out. and you have to jump across these like chasms to get to them, and you cannot do any extra movement or any extra double jumps, because there is a double jump that you unlock. Otherwise, you won't have enough time. And I got all the way to the last one. It is right in front of my face, and I ran out of time. And I just said, nah, not doing this another time. I probably did it 30 times. I was getting too mad. My blood pressure was probably through the roof. I was so mad.
So yeah, Steven, it's very, very, very old school, but it's a lot of fun. Like it's one of the most fun games I've played in a while, and I guess just kind of that, put it in, and it sounds like a diss to say this, but you put it in, you turn your brain off, and you just have a good time.
Yeah, there's not a lot required to play this game, and for that reason, I also fully understand if anybody and everybody wants to wait for a price drop. I mean, I get it. This is nothing new. It's just damn good.
Yeah. Is Steven still with us?
Still here.
Just delayed.
It's like 4 seconds delayed.
So how's that sound, Steven? Do we sell you on it?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be getting it, but I think I'm still going to wait for the $40 mark. I don't know, just something bad. I just want to wait till 40, and I'll feel better about myself for some reason. Even though I know I'm going to love it. I just know I'm going to love the game.
Well, I'm picky with buying games at full price, and I paid full price for this one, and I don't regret it, because even with it being a very fast, kind of dumb shooter, there's still, so much to do in it, between going back and exploring all the stages and stuff. I really do feel like this one is worth the $60, and I don't know, you don't really say that about a lot of games these days. Because Ernie just beat the Order 1886, and he was like, what?
I really have the urge, and I think it's one you've been wanting to go back to play too, Dustin, is Doom 64. And
I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, Chance was telling us I need to play, I guess, a PC version of it that has... What's that version again?
It's called Doom 64 EX. It's not an official thing by any means. It's you have to just find it online somewhere and then play it. But it just takes Doom 64, the all of the original game from the N64, and puts it on PC with mouse controls, and it takes everything that I don't like about the N64 version and makes it playable to me, because I still can't play it on the N64, but man, I can play the shit out of it with a mouse and keyboard.
It's amazing because when he was how well the first Doom actually still holds up to me, because I popped that in last week again just to play that, just like the first level or so, just for giggles, and that game just still holds up. I understand why it's your favorite series. I understand.
Yeah, but it's, again, I've said this from time to time, it's a lot of nostalgia too. I was playing this game back in the mid-90s, and it was like one of my only games, but it was just so good. I loved it. I played it all the time. It didn't matter how many times I finished it. But, and I think you know this, but one common misconception about Doom 64 is that people think it's just a port to the N64. No. Doom 64 is its own game. It is only available on the N64. It is completely redone game with brand new levels and everything. It's its own thing, and there's a lot of people that make that mistake, and so they think, I don't need that. It's just a port for the N64, and they miss out on what is a really good game. And I feel like Doom 64 is definitely more survival horror too, in a way. And I know that sounds strange, but Doom 64 is kind of freaky. It's a little...
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's a little scary, a little intense. It's a very, very well done game.
Yeah, because you were talking about, which I haven't got to this version of hell yet, but I remember playing Doom 64 in my younger, more vulnerable years. And, like, you would get to some of those not so much hell, but like just the creepy areas or like the outer space areas.
Yeah.
And it was really creepy to like run around. Of course, this is kids today are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This thing looks horrible." But back in the day, when like the N64 was the graphical powerhouse, it was pretty intense.
And the music is really good too. The soundtrack used for Doom 64 is actually the same soundtrack that they put on the PlayStation version of Doom, which is actually just a port of Doom 1 and 2, but they use the same music. I think the PlayStation version might have actually been first, so maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Doom 64 just used the soundtrack and the weapon sounds and the enemy sounds and things from the PSX version, the PS1 version on Doom 64, but it's not the same as the original, which kind of caught me off guard at first when I first put the PlayStation version in. But I love the soundtrack. It's very good. It takes it away from being the heavy metal style soundtrack of the original and gives it this very eerie, creepy, almost scary overtone for this version. Definitely more hellish than the heavy metal version, which I love too. So it's just something unique and different.
I don't really have anything more to add because I haven't finished it yet. But
well, if you haven't been to hell yet, Dustin, you've got a ways to go.
Yeah, well, I bet because it feels like a long game.
It's not crazy long, but yeah, it's longer than I thought it would be. It's good.
Just from seeing how massive the stages are, I could see how it'd be longer than you would think.
Yeah, it's not a short game. It's good size, especially if you take your time and are actually exploring a little bit and looking for some secrets, because the secrets are totally worth it when you find them. And I
really like the throwback secrets, like the throwback levels.
Yeah, when you open up a door and you step into Windows 95 Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fantastic. And actually, what's great about those is I think Steven fell off. Yeah, he did.
Hello.
Is you back?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I hit a wrong button on my phone.
It's all good. But anyway,
do you have to restart recording?
No, we're just rolling. Unless Dustin's going to edit this out.
Nah, I'm lazy. It's staying in.
Okay. Well, anyway, what I was saying is when you find those throwback levels that you step back into the original Doom or Doom 2, what's cool about that is you actually unlock the level itself. So then when you go back to the campaign screen and the resume or whatever, you're allowed to play classic levels. And then you actually get to play the entire level and not just one room of the level. And when you do that, you're still playing as Doom 2016 character and guns and enemies. You're just in the graphical level of the original game, which I think is a good touch too. And they did that in Wolfenstein New Order and the Old Blood with those nightmare levels where you ran around in Wolfenstein 3D, but you yourself were still the current generation game character with guns.
But the enemies in that one were the old characters.
Right, yeah. The enemies in Wolfenstein were the original enemies, but in this case, they are the new enemies. So it's kind of it is different, I guess. I didn't even remember that the Wolfenstein ones were the original enemies, but yeah, you're right, they were.
Yeah.
But in this case, they are the new enemies. But it's the original levels themselves are completely intact with secrets and everything, so you can blast through the level. But you don't get anything for that. There's no achievement for doing that. But it's still a cool little opportunity to play classic Doom. Which is always good.
Get these youngins into it.
Yeah. If this is someone's first Doom game, I can't imagine them wanting to go back and play the original. But I highly suggest that you do, just for a history lesson, if nothing else. Because you're like Steven said, it holds up. The original games are just awesome. All right, we can move on to something besides Doom now, because I feel like we're talking too much.
Do we still have Steven? Do we still have him?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know when to talk. I think I'm going to have to be cued every time I can talk.
Steven, you may talk now.
Hey, cool. Well, you've been speaking about a fun shooter, and I wanted to say I've been playing a pretty fun shooter myself in Overwatch, because you were talking about just games being just fun. That's all this game is. Simple and fun. Overwatch has been taking over my life like the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Anyone who's ever been intimidated by any type of co-op online shooter, throw it out the window. Overwatch is here to save you and bring you in and cuddle you and keep you warm and show you the ways of playing as a team online and shooting. It's just been so much fun.
I don't know too much about Overwatch other than what I've seen in some of like the really early announcement trailers and the fact that it's made by Blizzard, which is awesome for the game itself, because Blizzard itself has a huge fan base because they make really good quality stuff. So I'm interested, and I know Haas bought it and is totally into it, but for me, I just don't know if I have the time to devote to the multiplayer aspect, which is the entire thing. So I don't know if it's something that I'm gonna want to jump in on right now anyway, but I have a feeling it'll be a long-lasting game. I think it'll be played for a while.
Oh yeah, if it's anything like Blizzard's history, it'll probably be supported with expansions and everything, which Blizzard has already announced. Anything coming out for this game will be free.
Nice.
You will not be paying for any new characters or anything. And that's just a quick description or explanation of what it is. It is a team-based objective game, and it's just based on the 21 different characters in the game. Some of them heal, some of them are more like tanks. If you're used to playing an RPG, that's kind of how these characters are. They're RPG characters in a shooter. And it kind of simplified everything. Instead of there being like the traditional loadouts, you select this loadout or this one or this one. Each character has their own set of skills, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. They have their 3 skills or abilities, and you just go with it as a team to take an objective. And the simplicity is what makes it so much fun. I don't know, it's had some of the best moments I've had while playing an online game, some of the most tense moments, exciting moments, and it's just been a blast, especially when you're playing with people you know. Like, most of the time I'm playing with Alex and his buddies, and when you're in there as a team and as a group, just having a good time, it's so much fun. Just like if you're playing with anyone you know. It's always going to be a little bit rougher if you're playing by yourself and going in with random people, but when you can get through a game like Alien Colonial Marines together online, I mean, you can have fun doing, especially an actual good shooter, you can have a good time. So if anyone hasn't grabbed it on PS4 yet, and if you have, I will more than happily play with you, because I'm just having a blast in it.
I'm reminded a lot from what you're saying and then what other people have said and what I've seen. I'm reminded a lot of like a Team Fortress 2. And I know that comparison has been made, but that's I think a lot of what made that game good in its time too, was that you could choose between any of these character classes, and what they had is what they had, and it was important to work together and just play it. So I think that model is kind of what I'm seeing in Overwatch, and that's great because I loved Team Fortress 2, and I think that this would be a lot of fun too. I just know I don't have the time right now, but yeah, I think it's awesome that it's capturing a lot of people, and that's great.
Well, since we already talking about the stuff we've been playing, I was going to say, Dusty, you might as well get your long one out the way here too. But you can go ahead with your thought.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say a brief thing on the Overwatch. It does sound really interesting, and I know that from my experience with Destiny, which I had a blast with Destiny, I probably would enjoy it, but like my gaming time is so random and haphazard that like playing something like that where I feel like you really need to have like a good team to make it fun, it would just be almost impossible for me to do. So that's kind of my thoughts on that and the Division. Like, I won't be able to really get into the Division either because I just I wouldn't be able to like coordinate times with you to actually play it. So, but anyway, I have been. How do I want to word this? My time gaming wise has been completely overtaken by what is probably one of the longest portable RPGs I've ever played, and that is Trails of Cold Steel. It is an amazing, amazing game. If you liked anything about Trails in the Sky or anything like that, this takes everything that Trails in the Sky did and beefs it up for the Vita, and it looks gorgeous. It plays amazing. The story can be a little slow in places, but I feel like if you've played a Trails of game, you kind of expect that the little side quest type stuff that they make you do in these games. But once the story does kick in to the big thrusts that it does, it is really, really awesome. And luckily, luckily Xseed has already said they're bringing out Trails of Cold Steel 2, which will be out this fall. So I won't have to wait very long to see the next chapter. Trails in the Sky second chapter. Had to wait 4 years for that thing. But yeah, I'm about 70 hours into it right now. I'm in the final chapter, and hopefully I will have it done sometime this week, and then we'll do the game discussion video. Then I'll get back to Doom and burn through that, and then I don't know where I'll go from there. I'm kind of at a crossroads if I want to play Tales of Zestiria or if I want to play second. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do quite yet. So, but
how does Cold Steel play? Is it an open world and you're exploring dungeons or something, or how does it go?
No, it honestly it plays exactly like you would expect Trails in the Sky second chapter to play. Just a big graphical overhaul. So it kind of reminds me of Persona in certain ideas, because you're at this military academy, and then you'll get little side quests to do from the student council, and you'll do those, and then you'll have these field studies where you take a train to a different city and you explore the city, and then there's it's kind of like Tales of Xillia. You know how you go to the town and then there's a bit of not a huge amount of outdoor stuff that you can explore. So it's kind of like that. You leave town, you're on a road, and you can only go so far on the road before one of the characters in your party says, hey, if we're going to walk this way, we're going to walk for miles and days, so let's turn back and go back to town. So it kind of keeps the areas a little limited that way, saying hey, we don't need to go this way, what are you doing? But yeah, it honestly plays just like Trails in the Sky, except it just looks like, a Vita PS3 style game. So when I first started playing it and I got into the battles, and the battle system is pretty much the same, it's just, prettier, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And I've been having a great time doing it. So yeah, 2 Trails game in 1 year, and both of them are incredibly long. So, it's weird because Falcom, when they do a Trails of game, they make them really long, but when they do an East game, I feel like the East games are really short. So it's kind of weird, but...
Is East coming out this year? I can't remember. Is that East for us this year, or is it just Japan?
I think it's just for Japan. I think it comes out in Japan this year, because I think Greg has been talking about buying it. And I know it's not coming out this year, because Xseed would have to do that too, and they're still working on Trails of Cold Steel too. So, but who knows? They might be working on it as well at this time. I'm not sure. But other than that, the only other thing I've been playing, other than Doom and this, is I was at work and I was waiting for cases to start, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So I was just sitting there doing nothing, and I was trying to figure out something to do. So I got on my phone, and I was like, well, maybe I'll play Dragon Quest again. And because, Dragon Quest, you don't really have to pay attention to it. You can kind of just grind, and, And then I got to looking at the games on my phone, and I saw a little game called Final Fantasy II that I never finished. So I restarted it, and I've been playing that. And I got to tell you, it's taken me a while, but I think I've finally gotten around to Final Fantasy II. I think I actually kind of dig it. Once you get your mind around the leveling system for the characters, which is, there are no levels. When you use a skill, you gain experience in that skill. Every time you attack, your character gets stronger and better with a particular weapon they have equipped. Whenever you use a certain spell, if you use too much of your MP, you'll gain more MP. If you use that spell will gain some experience. It's kind of a chore system, I guess. But at the same time, once you get your mind around it, it's actually a pretty solid Final Fantasy. And I understand why people maybe dislike it, because you do kind of have to grind a little more than what you're used to, like in specific things. But I've actually been having a really good time with it, and it's weird how developed the story was. Which, this is like an iPhone port, so they might have spruced up the story here and there. But for the second outing in the Final Fantasy series, it's pretty crazy how more advanced the storyline feels, I guess. So that's been fun, but I can't really talk about the music in the game, and it kind of sucks because I'd like to listen to the music in Final Fantasy 2, but I inadvertently got ice cream in the speaker of my phone. I was holding my phone in my hand, and Lily had an ice cream cone, and she's like, "Here, hold this." And I grabbed it, and I didn't have a hold of the cone. I had a hold of the napkin that was around the cone, and I started to drop it, so I was like, "Oh, shit," and I quickly went to grab it, and the speaker part of my iPhone went right into the ice cream. So I don't even know how to describe the sound of the speaker now, but it's like very static. It's very staticky, and it's very distant sounding. So luckily, nothing's wrong with the Bluetooth, and nothing's wrong with the headphone jack. But yeah, so that sucks.
One quick note back to your description of the leveling system, and this is the part where everybody's like, "Oh, this is so broken," and blah blah blah. Is that you also have to take hits. Like, for your armor to level up, you have to take hits. So, knowing what you know about dishing out, damage and or healing spells, and what you know about taking damage, you would be able to put this together. It's like, well, if I attack my team members and then heal them, we all win. So herein lies the brokenness of Final Fantasy II.
Right.
And if you don't exploit it, then you're it's whatever. But if you do exploit it, then it's also whatever. But you're cheating. I mean, that's so. It's just in how you perceive this loophole. It's like, well, do I do this, or do I do it the hard way?
I think that's been curbed a little bit.
Okay.
Because I remember, maybe it was like, not import copies, but like hacked, translated ROMs. Like, you could do that like in the old school game to a ridiculous degree. And I think they curbed it back for the PlayStation version.
Well, you can still do it in the
Origins.
PSP version. I know that. Because that's...
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you could in the Game Boy Advance version and the PSP version, because those are the two that I've played. And
I think you still can. But I think, like, the amount of experience you get for doing that has been curbed back a little bit. I could be wrong. And you know what? Next time I play it, I'll probably try it.
Yeah, give it a shot. Just go ahead and slash your teammate and see how much sword experience you get.
Right. Because I knew that you could do that exploit. Because I remember when I played the Origins version, I was doing it for a little while.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird loophole, but I mean they totally didn't mean for you to do it that way, but you totally can.
It totally works. But I've been working through the game, and I've not really had that much difficulty with it. Like I've not really had a need to like break the game like that. You know what I mean? So
it's not super hard early game. Because I've actually played this one and beat it. It's not super hard early game. It does get a little bit harder towards the end. But what I found the most difficulty was playing without a guide. Is that sometimes I just flat out don't know where to go, and I get, like in Dark Souls style, get into an area where these enemies are a lot stronger than the ones that were 10 paces back, and then I get my ass handed to me, and I have to go back. So.
Yeah, I had that happen to me a few times, and it's not like Dragon Quest where it's like, if I go over this bridge, I'm dead. It's like all of a sudden you're fighting like monsters in a field, and you take one step further in the field, and it's like insurmountable enemy.
The lines aren't visible now, but it is the same kind of mechanic. It's like, don't go over there because you're gonna die very quickly.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to go after the Dreadnought, and I have like a wiki I'm not really like reading it like line for line. I'm just kind of more looking at the introduction.
Yeah.
To see like, okay, I'm done with Bafk. Where do I go next?
Yeah, I think that's important for Final Fantasy 2 for maximum enjoyment, in my opinion, is just to know, okay, where do I need to go? Like, and then once I know where about I need to go, then I'm fine. I can get there and hold my own and do whatever I need to do when I get there without the guide. But it is a little vague sometimes in where you need to go, and there's like another interesting mechanic. It's like a password mechanic.
Right. I was going to get ready to talk about that.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I actually really like that system about how like some characters will say keywords, and then you can learn the keyword and ask NPC like just the other people about it, and you can get information that way. So a lot of ways, like the game doesn't tell you where to go, but at the same time, like if you use that keyword system, you can actually find out a lot of information.
Yeah.
But I think people are just not used to that kind of a system, It's a little bit more intuitive than most other entries in the series, and it's very unique to itself, and obviously, I mean, not everybody liked it because they didn't keep doing it, after that. Right.
But I thought that Final Fantasy 2 was great, so it's cool that you're playing it again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if I actually finish it, because sometimes I will, because really I'm just kind of playing it on my downtime, and sometimes with iPhone games I kind of forget about them, and then I don't finish them, which that's happened with not so much like quote-unquote big-name games, but like some sort of, just like the iOS-only games, like some of those RPGs that are just on that system, I've actually kind of, started playing, was having a good time, and then just kind of forgot about.
Yeah, so. I've got Dragon Quest 2 and Lunar, Silver Story, whatever, Touch on my phone, and I just haven't even tried to play them.
Lunar is not actually, it's not that bad. The controls are a little wonky, but I feel like you're going to get that with any.
Yeah. Well, I played
touch
Vay.
Control.
Vay was pretty good on touchscreen.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then I got Lunar directly after that. It was interesting just between those two games. Like the controls were just different enough that it's like, okay, crap, I'm gonna have to relearn how to do this on this game. So I just lost interest.
Yeah. Yeah. The weird thing about Final Fantasy 2 is like sometimes like your finger will slide too far up on the digital D-pad, and then you'll just like stop moving. Like your finger will slide off of where that D-pad is.
Yeah, I had that problem too.
But it's weird because no matter where you touch on the screen, the D-pad goes there.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it necessarily does that, but whatever.
All right, we'll let Steven talk now.
Hey, cool.
Well, he's not using his opportunity here.
No. What are you playing, Steve, besides Overwatch? Oh, he
Really?
died. He's gone.
Oh.
That would be why he was being quiet. He's got looks like he's away at the moment.
Microphone probs. I was down here, we were having a cookout for Memorial Day, and I was down here getting the basement clean because I've been very slacking off on putting things away in the game room. Because I'm like, I barely come down here, and I was putting things away, and I was like, God damn, I need to come down here and play a PS2 game sometime. I really do.
What keeps happening?
Is that you?
It was me, because I have like a close all apps on my phone, and I was closing all my apps, and it keeps closing out Skype when I do it instead of leaving it open. So where did I even say anything?
You said cool, and then that's all we heard. I said, let's let Steven talk now. Cool.
Hang up. Okay. So
it would have been good if it made like the click noise, like the hang up click. Good, cool, done.
I was saying to myself apparently. So today I downloaded, of course I showed it to you guys in the chat, Dark Cloud 2, PS2 games on PS4, and just how amazing it looked. I've only put about an hour into it, but geez, they need to upscale like every PS2 game. Just put it on the store and let us download them because they look beautiful. Like you were saying, Dustin, it could be because cell shading I think it does upscale better and it looks cleaner.
Yeah.
But just
even if you don't upscale it, like go put Dragon Quest VIII in on a cathode ray TV, standard definition, and it still looks amazing.
Yeah, they still just look good. But it reminded me of how many PS2 games in general I still need to play, but JRPGs on the PS2. And Dustin, since you're the predominant JRPG player here, what are some more like PS2 games that you still need to one day go back and finish on the RPG side? Are there still some that are just like burning at the bit you need to get to?
Well, that's funny you said that, because when you dropped off, I told a little story about how I was getting the game room cleaned up for Memorial Day, because there's going to be a bunch of people over. And I was like, God damn, I need to come down here and play some PS2 games.
See?
Some that are burning a hole in me. Let me see here, because I'm looking at them right now. It really bothers me that you're playing Dark Cloud 2. I've not played those. I have both of them, but I haven't played them. And that's kind of driving me nuts. The Disgaea games, I really want to play. I still need to beat Final Fantasy 12. I know people be like, skip it, but I want to play it and I want to beat it. What else is there? I still need to play Grandia 3, but then once I beat it, I'm done with Grandia, So it's like, what else is there? Kingsfield. I don't know how much I paid for that while we were in Pittsburgh, but... Or not Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. But need to play that. Xenosaga, I need to beat those. I've only beat the first one, and I got stuck in the second one, because the second one kind of sucks. Yeah, there's a lot. Tales of Legendia, there's a Tales game I haven't played. There's all the Wild Arms on there.
Yep, well, Star Ocean is back there.
Yeah, I still need to beat that one, that Star Ocean. The Suikoden ones, I started playing 3, and then I got kind of sidetracked and stopped playing it. So maybe I'll go back and play that again here soon. I got a bunch of Shin Megami Tensei on there.
Rogue Galaxy, is that one you've completed?
Yeah, I beat that one. That is long. That is super long. So when you start that one, settle in, because you're going to be there for a while.
Well, that's another PS2 on PS4 that I purchased. I haven't downloaded it yet, though, but just more cell shading, so you know it's going to look great. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, both of those are by level 5, and I feel like level 5 really is like the master of that graphical style.
Cool.
Gosh, so many games. Unlimited Saga, of course, we got to play that. It's like considered to be one of the worst games ever created.
Really?
Yeah, it's like people just say it's like unplayable. I'm sure there's one guy out there that's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Unlimited Saga is my favorite game, but yeah, supposedly it's supposed to be pretty bad.
What about you, Chance? Is there any PS2 game burning a hole in you? Or does it have to be RPG?
I was gonna say not that many RPGs. I've got a bunch of PS2 games, and some of them I don't even know why I have it. It's not that I won't play it. It's just maybe I won't play it. I don't know. I have Rogue Galaxy. I have Dark Cloud. It's like, will I ever play these games? I don't know if I will or not. But Devil May Cry series, I've got all 3 of those on the PS2, and I've never played a single moment of them. Dragon Quest VIII, I have that, but I'm actually thinking about just getting rid of it, and because the 3DS version's coming out at some point.
Yeah.
So that's probably more likely where I'll end up playing Dragon Quest VIII. The original Killzone, I still would like to play that, because I haven't played any of the Killzone games.
Kim Possible, what's the Switch?
There you go.
Yep.
Warhammer 40k Fire Warrior is another one I've got. A pretty decent looking first person shooter on the PS2.
What about this? We're now again like in another newer generation of gaming. Dustin, you mentioned you're playing Final Fantasy 2 on your phone. How hard is it for you guys to whip out an older system these days to play?
It's more difficult just because of the hassle of getting it out and like plugging it in and all that jazz. Like once I'm actually playing, I'm fine. But it's just like, why do I want to do that when I can just go up and throw in a PS3 game,
Yeah.
Because those systems, like the only systems I have plugged in at the moment is the PC Engine, the PlayStation 2, and the Sega Saturn. And then the Super Nintendo's plugged in just so Caitlin could play Animaniacs. So, like, all the rest of my classic systems are on a shelf, not plugged in.
Well, I've got most of mine hooked up still. The only ones I don't really have hooked up are the GameCube and the Saturn, but I've got the Retron 5, so that's kind of a catch-all for classic stuff, and I got the PS3, the 360, and the original Xbox and PS2, which share a cord anyway, so it's not like it's a lot to hook it up to one television. And then the Xbox One and the Wii U are in the living room, but as far as the game room goes, most of the time it is PS3 or 360, and occasionally the original Xbox to get played in here. But I do play some Game Boy Advance stuff on the Retron 5, but I can't remember the last time I just threw in an NES game or a Super Nintendo game and got like really into it. It's been a while.
Yeah. I was thinking about it's kind of sad because I still got all these older games to play, but just wanting to take the systems out because mine are in boxes now and not displayed, so it just is like, do I really want to take it out? That's why I wish every system could just be backwards compatible. It would just be so nice.
Yeah, Wii U, why can't you let me play my NES carts?
Maybe the NX
Stupid
will.
Nintendo.
Yeah, and the NX will have a slot for every system they've ever made.
Slot.
Is that coming out this year? You guys think it'll be out this year, or have they said it's not? I haven't been keeping up with it.
I think it's supposed to be announced like in the fall. I don't know if it's coming out this year or not. I think it's 2017.
If it's with the Zelda Day 1, are you getting it, Dustin?
Well, you know me, I have a hard time saying no to Nintendo systems, even though, like, I can't remember the last time I fired up my Wii U. It was probably for Xenoblade X, which I need to get back to sometime.
I put some Star Fox about 3 weeks ago, so my Wii U was on. Well, my Wii U's on every day with the boy. But
yeah. So how is Star Fox? I've heard it go. I've heard it go both ways.
I've actually kind of liked it. Just it's kind of like it plays just like the Star Foxes we all know and love. It's just once in a blue moon you have to use the motion controls, and they're not too bad. Like the motion controls for precision aiming.
Precision aiming.
Words are tough.
old mushmouth over there.
The precision aiming can be kind of tough sometimes because using the stupid motion controls, but at the same time, it's not that bad. And yes, we all wish that there was just an option to, hey, let's take it out, but it's not, and I doubt there ever will be, since the system might be done after this year anyway. But I've really enjoyed it. I haven't played the other pack-in game, Star Fox Guard or whatever, because I'm not a tower defense guy. But I've kind of liked it.
See, that's the thing. Like, I want to get it, but I'm like, just wait for it to get cheap. And then I'm like, it's a Nintendo game. It'll never get cheap.
Never gonna get cheap.
Never gonna get cheap. Cheap.
Unless they take out the Star Fox. See, I can't speak words. Unless they take out that pack-in game with it, and then knock off
that pack-in game isn't with everything, because there's a standard edition and then there's like a limited edition, isn't there? Because I swore at GameStop,
this was the only edition out at the time I got it. It was just this one.
I swear at GameStop I saw like just a normal Wii U box.
Wow.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
Or you could be right.
Or I could be right. Why do I think the worst of myself?
Since you mentioned the games you had already been playing, though, I want to get one more out the way here that everyone should know about, because it's, again, some of the most fun I've had this year playing video games, and that is Gundam Breaker 3. You can get it in English subtitles if you get the Asia copy. I know, Dustin, you kind of dabbled in the first one, but it is miles better than the first one. I haven't played the second, but from anything Alex, Returner of the Bases, said, it's way better than the second. It's people, I can't explain it. It's pretty much, I think we've said it before, it's almost like a Diablo-style game, only with Gundam. And I mean, this goes all the way up to the newest Gundam series. I think it's now like Gundam Thunderbolt. It even has those Gundams in it. And it's so much fun just customizing your own Gundam. You can
see, that's the thing. I do kind of want to get that. How much did you drop on that? What is it, like 70? Because you're getting it from PlayAsia.
Oh, no. I didn't pay nowhere near that much because when they first announced it, you could pre-order it at $45, and that's all I had to pay.
Bitch. Son of a bitch.
So $45, and I got my copy, and and I've just beat it yesterday. Actually, I finally beat it. And what's so cool is that I don't even remember the first game having this. Is if you guys know, in pretty much any loot-based game, that you kind of have your color rarities. You got your blue rares, like in Diablo, or you got your greens. You got your orange legendary parts, and that's how the game kind of drop rates work in it. You can get a helmet piece you've been looking for, like say the shining Gundam head. You finally get it, but it's a blue. Well, you could get it again, and it could be a legendary, which just means it holds more substats. Like a blue can only hold 4 substats, a legendary can hold 10, which therefore means it's stronger. So it's a lot of replay value, and it's just a lot of fun, especially when the music's amazing. It's just good stuff. Good times. So yeah, if you're a Gundam fan, you gotta get it.
Yeah, it looks like the PS4 copy is about $60-some bucks.
And then you got tack on 15 for shipping?
Probably.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
But yeah, we've had a blast, and I played that one like I said, a little bit with Alex too, doing some. It's easier when you're co-oping with a buddy because your AI companions can be kind of dumb sometimes. But when you're rolling through the game with a buddy, it's you're just like crushing things, and the boss fights are fun. It can be pretty challenging, and like I said, the replay value's there just so you can get the Gundam you want to get the legendary gear. And there's also high-grade Gundams, and then after you beat the game, you have the ability to unlock master-grade Gundams, which means your parts will be, your Gundam will look a little bit bigger, just like comparing a high-grade to a master-grade Gunpla figure. If you, Dustin's built one, so he kind of knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Does it go up to perfect grade? Can you get a perfect grade?
I think it'd be like, goes up to master.
It'd be like Godzilla walking through there.
No, just master grade.
Because it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was looking at as I was cleaning the game room, I noticed that I never did finish my Mark II Gundam, my real grade of that.
Oh,
so I still need to. I got the skeleton part of it together, but I never finished it out. So because I've been really wanting to get into like building like models again, and I keep looking. It's stupid, and I don't know why I keep looking at these things. But I keep looking at like. It's a 1/350th scale USS Enterprise from the movies. This thing's like 3 feet long. Yeah, and you can put like lighting rigs in it, and you can like see through the windows like into like the arboretum that's in the secondary hall, and you can look into the shuttle bay, and there's like little shuttles in there and all this stuff. I really want to build one, but it's like you have to do so much because these are like it's only like $70 for this massive model, but I mean, it's like a professional model. Like you have to like finish it completely yourself. Like you get it, and everything is fucking white. I mean, there's no, like you'd have to like airbrush paint it and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my god. Maybe I'll buy I have a smaller Enterprise around here somewhere that I need to build. Maybe I'll just put that together and airbrush that and get some skills, and eventually get to that. But that thing would take me like months to build.
Well, I ordered me a Gunpla, of course, of my favorite Gundam, just the other day. I'm waiting for that to get in so I can get started on that. All because I've been playing some Gundam Breaker 3, and I've actually been watching a show that kind of, it's what the game is kind of based off of. It's you're actually playing as Gunpla figures. It's not like you're in a Gundam. You're playing the Gunpla figure, and there's a show called Gundam Build Fighters. It's on, you can actually, I think Namco put it all out on YouTube. It's about 25 episodes, which kind of follows like what it means to, it's kind of got that Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon vibe. It's these two people who are always battling out in an episode with their Gunplas, trying to get onto the championships that are further down. So it's a really good show, actually. And so yeah, it's got me all into wanting to build all sorts of Gundams now and order Gunplas to build. So I'm right there with you, wanting to get some models.
You said you're building your favorite one. Which one is your favorite one?
It's the from the series. It seems like everyone loves to hate G Gundam, the Shining Gundam.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Street Fighter Gundam.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because it's really the only one I've ever watched. I'm currently I'm watching that Build Fighters. I'm almost through Gundam Wing. I like the first one you got on Toonami. I forget what the acronym is for. Gundam Wing Seed. What is it?
Gundam Wing and Gundam Seed are two different ones.
Okay, well, never mind. I'm watching Gundam Wing, and I'm about 30-something episodes into that out of the 40, like 45 or 49. And then, there's a bunch more I want to watch. So, Gundam 08 Team, I'm kind of watching that. So, really into some Gundam right now. Loving it.
It's good stuff. I wish it was easier and cheaper to get, because I have a bunch of it downloaded on my computer. And it's hard to watch on my computer because I have a little crappy laptop that doesn't like to stay on. But yeah, it's good stuff. I kind of don't know whether or not what I like more. Do I like the more fantasy style Gundams like in Wing? Because I like that Wing Zero custom that you see in Endless Waltz. That thing is gorgeous with the actual angel wings. Like that is an awesome Gundam. Or do I like the more militaristic, realistic Gundams like the Mark II or the RX-78?
Kind of like a mix of both. Like the Angel Wings are awesome, as far as like an aesthetic look and everything. But I don't like the big bulky military like Zaku's that they're generic looking Gundams. Something about big and bulky ones that just can't stand.
Now I like
but I also get.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also get tired of just seeing the main character in red, white, and blue all the time, too. I wish they could get over that. But go ahead.
Who did that DVD go? Endless Waltz, Gundam Wing, the movie. That was the first DVD I ever bought.
Ooh, nice. Is it still the original?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Because, like, you're saying, like, you don't like the Zaku's and stuff, but I feel like the mass-produced ones in Gundam Wing, they kind of look like a lesser version of the tall geese. I really like those, like the ones that I can't remember the faction that uses them, but I really like those, and then I really like the Tall Geese 3 as well. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen Endless Waltz?
I haven't, because I wanted to finish the series off first before I watched the movie.
Yeah, basically they reimagine all the Gundams. And that's what they were supposed to look like in the series, so it's kind of like a retcon. But the heavy arms, once heavy arms like completely opens up all of its missile pods and stuff. I mean, I don't know how anything could ever beat the heavy arms because it's ridiculous. Like once it's fully like in battle mode, it's crazy.
That's what I feel like in Gundam Breaker 3 because you mentioned Tall Geese. I was rocking a Tall Geese helmet for the longest time, like headpiece. That was my headpiece. But I got so many you can attach in this game. It's called builder parts, up to 7 accessory parts to your Gundam that you select through on the D-pad that you can use as optional equipment. So I have rocket launchers strapped on me. I have beam cannons, and I'm just like, no one can mess with me. I mean, if I want to just shoot you in the face with these rockets, you're going down. The game's so much fun.
Have you ever... Actually, you probably saw it in Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Did you ever see the one... I think it's either from 0080 or it's 0083. I think it's 0083. It's like the one that can launch nukes. And it's like got these huge feet and like these huge like booster pods on its back, and it carries around this like bazooka that shoots nukes.
Oh yes, okay. Once you said bazooka that shoots nukes, yeah.
That one, I have a figure of that one somewhere in a box, and it's hilarious. I don't know why, it just always struck me as funny. Anyway, we got stuck on Gundam. Yeah.
So that's all. Were you playing anything else besides Doom though, Chance? Anything else touching your hands?
Not really lately. I it's been so long since we recorded. I don't have any idea what we talked about last time. So
you don't got to go back that far.
No, I know, but I mean, really, it hasn't been that many games. So even if I did go back that far, it wouldn't matter.
Here we go. Chance is going to talk for 45 minutes about the games he's been playing.
No, it's really not been much. I played some more Halo. I finished Combat Evolved Anniversary again. The original game is just as good as I remember it. It was very good. And then Halo 5, which, a bit of a side note, I have been doing a lot of audiobooks lately. And I did read audiobook, air quotes, all 3 of the Forerunner trilogy books, which take place years and years and years before the events in the original Halo games, following the Forerunners who you meet in Halo 4. And the events and everything that are described and happen in those novels, combined with what happens in Halo 5, I think I have a slightly different perspective on what Halo 5 really is all about. And I'm just gonna avoid talking about it because it's spoiler heavy and it's epic. And I know both of you guys, neither one own an Xbox One, but let's just say Halo 5 is pretty good. It's pretty good, and it does have some interesting mechanics that I don't think everybody was necessarily prepared for. In that you do play as a different character for about 2/3 of the game.
Oh God, they didn't learn that lesson from 2.
you did well, but this guy's at least still a Spartan, so it's more like Halo Reach than Halo 2. You play as Spartan Locke, and the game is I think we might have talked about it before, but it's very co-op centric. It's really meant to play co-op because you have your character and then you're followed around by 3 other characters, and AI, of course, if you're not playing co-op. And a lot of the missions, there's like some pretty good sized firefights. And one cool mechanic is that if you go down, like you die, your squad mates can come revive you. Like a la Destiny. It's a pretty commonplace thing nowadays. And obviously, if you're playing with someone, that would be a little bit easier to do. And then convincing your AI buddies, hey, don't get killed, come over here and revive me real quick. So it's both cool, and also if you're playing alone, it does become problematic from time to time. But it does provide a good challenge. And but like I said, the story's a little confusing if you are not as versed on the Forerunners. They're a fascinating species if you read these novels, and I do recommend the novels. Cryptum, Primordium, and Silentium is the Forerunner trilogy. They're very good, and the audiobooks I got from Audible.com, and it's kind of, the audiobook world is kind of a new thing for me, and it's definitely awesome. I've finished way more books this year than I have video games, and I think that's a good thing. I finished about 16 books since like February, just do the audiobook thing, and it's very
interject for a moment.
Huh?
You said you play, the other character you play is he an actual Spartan?
Yes.
When did they come back?
Well, they never went away. Like there was.
I thought John was the last one.
No, he wasn't. That's a misconception. He wasn't the last one. He was just the last one of that batch, maybe. But they didn't stop making Spartans. And you learn that if you read the Halo book Fall of Reach. You kind of learn that while John and his mates were the first group, they were not the last. And and it's in the, I don't know. If you read the book, you learn, you get a lot of insight on what it really means to be a Spartan in this case, and it's pretty good. The movie The Fall of Reach is on Netflix, and it's only about half of the book. It actually doesn't do all the events from the book, because the book follows Dr. Halsey, who is the creator of the Spartans, basically, and Captain Keyes, who you meet in the original original Halo Combat Evolved. He's the captain of the Pillar of Autumn. You meet him and realize how important his character really was for the early Human Covenant War. And also you meet John, or Spartan number 117, who is a lot more deep of a character than the games would ever let you believe. He's a pretty intense dude, and he was never even the best or the fastest or the strongest Spartan, but he was definitely the most compassionate and battle-minded. He was, and that's why he excelled so well as far as the Spartans are concerned. But yes, there are lots more Spartans. I mean, not lots, but there are others. And this one, his name is Locke, and his assignment is to find Master Chief, because after you leave Halo 4, you kind of don't know what happened to Cortana, or if she's alive or dead. And Chief kind of goes rogue in searching for her. And he's no longer, and his team too, not just him. It's his three blue team squad mates also, and it's up to Captain Locke's team to run around and try to find him, and hijinks ensue. So it's a pretty good game. It's there's a lot behind it too, but I think that the average player is not going to go through all that extra work to read books and watch movies and try to pick up on all the extra stuff. But I highly suggest that you do if you're a fan of Halo. So yeah, that was the other big one that I haven't talked about on here, was Halo 5, and that's it.
I only got one question. Is it better than ODST?
Well, see, here's where you give me trouble here, because ODST is in a league of its own. ODST is fantastic. So I won't say that it's worse than ODST. Mm-hmm. But I won't say it's necessarily better either, because again, you're playing as Spartans and you're running around doing Spartan things, and in ODST you're not a Spartan, and it's its own experience, and it's wonderful.
Well, if you can't say it's better, then it's not better.
No,
long story short.
Buck in the game, though, right?
Huh?
What?
Like Buck from ODST. Like, I think he's in this game and stuff, right? Halo 5?
Well, an ODST. What do you mean?
What's his name? The guy from Castle. What's his real name?
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion. His character's name is Buck, right?
Oh, I don't know the other character names. I know Locke and Chief. That's it.
Well, he's in the game, right?
I don't know. He's in ODST. I don't know if he's in this one.
He should be in Halo 5. I've seen him in trailers.
It could be. You're probably right. I'm just telling you I don't know.
You played it. You should.
I just told you. I know Chief and Locke. Those are the only two names I remember.
You remember Nathan Fillion, man. You remember.
Nope.
Okay. Never mind then. I was going to say there's a connection to ODST there with him, so there you go, Dustin. Pretty sure he's in the game.
Yeah.
I won't say that 5 is better than 4, but 4 was really good.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about like 4. I mean, the gameplay is going to be good. You know, the gameplay is going to be good. But the thing that struck me about 4 was like how emotional the story was from a game series that was very unemotional, and it was sort of the chutzpah of the game going there. And I wonder if 5 can still do that.
I hate to. I don't want to spoil anything, but the emotions are there, but it's different.
Okay.
I don't know if I could be much more vague than that.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things like I don't know if I'm ever going to get an Xbox One. So I don't know
maybe I'll tell you specifically, but I don't think I want to tell the internet. So.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Spoilers, God.
I know. I hate being like that. But...
I play Halo for the rich story. Thanks, jerk.
and you could do that if you want to, but I don't know. It's such a I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Too soon. I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right.
You know what else is soon? E3.
Segway.
And I know none of us have been fault and haven't been really keeping up with anything. But is there something, like I'm playing Dark Cloud 2 right now, and I just did a search randomly. Dark Cloud 3. That could happen this year, I think. I mean, so there's some stuff out there. What is the game that you guys are hoping to see? I know you just got your Doom chance. You've had your Wolfensteins. I don't know what else could be on your wish list.
Quake 5?
What to get.
Come on, bring on the Quake 5. That'll never happen.
You don't think they'd bring back Quake?
No. If they do, it'll be like in the case of Doom, where it's just been quite some time, and they're like, okay, well, or actually, Wolfenstein would be the better example, because Doom 3 is not that old, but I mean, when you look at the previous Wolfenstein entry, just the plain Wolfenstein on 360, nobody played that game. Like,
I have it and I want to play it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I have it too, and I've played some of it, but like as far as like the masses, nobody played that game compared to the number of people that played the New Order.
Right.
So if they do anything, I think it'll be some time, and it'll just be a passion project of some nobody team like Machine Games, to take it and be like, all right, let's do this.
No. Machine Games, they need to do another Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying Machine Games needs to do Quake, but I'm saying it needs to be somebody similar. It's like some game developer who is owned by somebody else, so they got money and like, yeah, we really want to do this. Let us do Quake and see what we can do, and it just be a passion project, and it just comes out of nowhere, and it blows everybody's hair back. But there's a lot just to get back to Doom, because that's a good thing to do. There's a lot of similarities in especially this multiplayer in Doom that reminds me of multiplayer in classic like Quake 3 and even some in Quake 4, which also leads me to believe that Quake 5 is an even further away, distant dream, because it feels like, in a way, they're kind of combining the goodness of the Doom campaign and then a lot of the things that made the Quake multiplayer good. So I just have this feeling that I'll never see a Quake 5, and that's fine. I mean, I accept it.
Yeah.
Well, I know something I'm hoping to see is actual. I want to see what the progress is on Resident Evil 2. I want Capcom to show how this remake is being done. I want to see what it's looking like, if they've kept the same control schemes, or if they've
What we did was take the overwhelming response of how everyone loved Resident Evil 6 and applied that to Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 by way of Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Capcom would be burning.
Well, apparently they want to kind of... They always say this, but they want to go back to their roots. I think they said Resident Evil 7 is going to be shown there. So we'll see what that means by going back to the roots, because we also got that Umbrella Corpse or whatever game coming out this year. I don't know, some off-the-wall Resident Evil game that I have to get because I like collecting Resident Evil, but I really have no desire to play it whatsoever.
That's weird.
I can't remember the name. I know I want to see those. I kind of want to see what Final Fantasy VII is shaping up to look like.
I'm really intrigued by that. I think that's going to be... It's either going to be something really awesome or it's going to fall flat on its face. I'm not sure which it is. Well, I guess we'll find out when we actually see some stuff from it, but I don't know.
What about Nier?
I'm getting...
See, that's the thing. I guess maybe they'd show some stuff from Nier. I guess what I'm thinking from E3 is a big announcement of something new, and I'm like, I know they're making a Dragon Quest XI. I know Final Fantasy 15's coming. They're making a Nier. It's all the wish list stuff I would have. They're already doing it. So it's
Persona 5 is already here.
Yeah. Deadly Premonition 2. Can we get a Deadly Premonition 2?
There you go.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake 2.
That would... if there is one thing that would make me consider an Xbox, it's Alan Wake 2.
Somebody bring back BioShock.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to make a fourth one.
That would just I would shit my pants probably if they announced a new BioShock.
Yeah, but I don't know how they could do it because everything just feels so wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, that's when you guys mentioned Machine Games should do another Wolfenstein. I mean, I think Blazkowicz is done, man. I don't know if there could be a Wolfenstein without him.
There could be a Wolfenstein without that slab of granite running around. Okay.
But it's Blazkowicz. He's got to be there.
Nah. I'm trying to. I'm really. I guess
like
see some. Yeah, I mean, I got Persona 5's coming. I can't ask for that.
Diablo
I'm
4.
Sure.
That'd be awesome, but that we'll see. That maybe that'll be for BlizzCon. They always save their stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff I'd want to see would probably be more Tokyo Game Show than E3.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Actually, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to kind of learn more about this. What is it? Battlefield 1.
Oh yeah.
Where it's back in World War 1. That might be one I actually buy because I love me some World War 1.
That'll be the lead off for Xbox show. That'll be their lead off on
probably.
I thought wasn't it EA that's like got their own show now? Like they're not even going to go to E3.
Everyone says they're not going, but they always put on their own online show. So I still think that's technically, hey, you're a part of E3. If you're doing some kind of live stream, I think you're like Nintendo. They do their Treehouse live stream stuff. You're still a part of it, man. E3 week, you're still there.
Give me a new Red Faction.
Keep dreaming.
Hey, if it's anything like Armageddon, I'm down for it.
Day one, I would buy that.
You got a better chance at Binary Domain 2.
Oh my god, that would be so good. Binary Domain 2. Spec Ops 2. Spec Ops The Line. Spec Ops The Parallel Lines.
I really can't think of anything that, like, it just,
Yeah, all of mine
maybe
are just,
some
like, fever dreams. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
But of course, like, the thing I'm thinking about is, like, I'm thinking, like, what sequel can they give me that I want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I would like to see a lot of, like, new properties.
Yeah. It's hard to speculate about new properties, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, what do I want that I don't know about yet?
Right.
It's hard to think in those terms.
Maybe, a look at what Destiny 2 is going to be like. That'd probably be something.
Yeah, that could. Or it's like what was on last generation that we haven't seen yet on this one. Like,
I hope it gets some more HD.
Dead Space 4. Is there going to be a Dead Space 4 or something?
That would be pretty cool.
I hope it gets some more HD remasters.
Minecraft 2.
Yeah.
Minecraft 2. Or, like, well, you say HD remasters. Final Fantasy 12 HD. It'd be nice if see an official announcement on that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's still the scuttlebutt.
I was saying, it's still a rumor, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I'm pretty interested in Titanfall 2. Like, I hope that they learned their lesson and make this game what everybody thought the last game was going to be. I have high hopes for that.
You talking about Titanfall 2 brought something up that I kind of... What do you think, Chance? What do you think about this Xbox One-2 or whatever it's going to be? Like, they're already upgrading the system.
So is PlayStation. I mean, it's.
I know, but it seems like PlayStation's is a much more gradual change. Where I guess like Xbox is going to be like almost a completely new system or something like that.
I honestly don't know like hardly anything about it. I haven't been keeping track. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in buying another console. I know that. Like another Xbox right now.
It feels like we're getting back to the age of like, here's the Sega Genesis. Now you have the Sega CD. Here's the Sega. You know what I mean? Like all these.
2X. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's just honestly, new games don't come out enough. Like new games that I want don't come out enough for me to justify it in any way, shape, or form. Like unless they said, oh yeah, we got this coming out in the fall, and Halo 6 totally coming out in the spring. Unless they did something like that, there'd be no way that I would buy that.
Well, and that's the thing too. Do they continue to make like multiple versions of the same game for these two separate systems?
Well, I mean, it's just been pretty recent that they stopped, pretty much all but stopped putting stuff on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I think one of the last ones that I know of for sure was Black Ops 3, which came out in the fall. And the Xbox 360, PS3 versions were just the multiplayer. And I was thinking, wow, they're really like holding on to that. Like, if you want to play the campaign, you got to get the new console. But here, for a little bit less money, we'll sell you the 360 version of just the multiplayer. And that's totally a cash grab. I mean, they're counting on people not to have bought the console yet, but they still want to sell the game to them. So I have a feeling that, you know, when this new one comes out, if it is going to be like different enough, you know, that it's a different console, I don't think that it'll be like real quick that they just shut off the production lines for making Xbox One games.
Xbox One games.
Yeah, Xbox One games. But, you know, maybe we get a slightly lesser version. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
And
I'm really kind of waiting to see how it shakes out, because if like the PS4 thing is just for VR,
right? But I mean, it is still like a 2.5 console in that they promise like even the old games are going to look so much better, you know. And it's not just because of the VR; it's they're also promising newness for the existing games too. So it's like, I mean, I get it. It's a new fancy piece of hardware that's coming with the VR. So I mean, you're already spending a ton of money on it. You might as well have an upgraded console too. But you know, I hope to still get a PlayStation 4 within a year or so. Who knows? But I won't be buying that version. I'm pretty sure of that, because I'm really hoping that with the release of that, the original gets a little bit cheaper. Maybe.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still, I mean, honestly, it's like everything. I'm not doing much reading into it because I already have a PS4, so it's not like I'm going to rush out and get another system. But I guess I'm kind of waiting to see how everything falls. But it just seems weird. It's like, you know, we just got off of like the longest console generation that we've ever had. And now it's like, here's the Xbox One, here's the Xbox 1.5, here's the Xbox One 2, you know?
Yeah.
It just seems like now we're getting into these sort of half-step upgrades.
Well, I mean, you know...
Didn't we kind of do that last generation, though? the Xbox Slim, Xbox... But did
that actually add any performance, or, like, did you have to buy a new... I mean, the only reason you had to buy a new console is because the Xbox died on you. You know what I mean? Like, it red-ringed, and that's the reason why you got the news. That's the reason why I have a Slim upstairs, because my white one red-ringed.
They had performance upgrades, too. Performance upgrades were in them.
Okay.
But all the games would still work universally, though. You can still play same games on each console.
So it's not like the difference between a Model 1 and a Model 2 Genesis, then. Like, the Slim actually was somewhat better than the original 360. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, way better.
I didn't know that. I still have an original 360 through a white one. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
You probably got the last working white Xbox 360 in, like, the world.
It doesn't sound good when I turn it on, I know that.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I don't want it to be... Yeah. I don't want it to be like the new 3DS, where they started making games that only work on the new 3DS.
Isn't
you know what I mean?
Like one?
There's only one, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they do these new consoles and they're like, well, this one will only work on the PlayStation Neo, it's like,
Well, I think Nintendo already, after they decided to go ahead and do it and did it, decided, well, maybe that wasn't the greatest idea, because they've only made one exclusive.
Well, they haven't really made many games, period. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like,
there's been a ton of 3DS games come out since the new 3DS came out.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, I guess my thing is, like, you look at some of those games, like the Pokemon games and things like that, and it's like, those games were never going to, like, push the system graphically to begin with. You know, those types of games have very specific graphical styles, whereas something like Xenoblade, you have to have the extra oomph to have all that shit on there.
Yeah.
Which it's insane that they have Xenoblade on a cartridge anyway.
Well, I mean, there's some compatibility with some other games. Like, I think you can use the stick in, like, Majora's Mask and shit like that. So, I mean, it does do you some good to own a new 3DS, you know, if you have this
Let me put it to you this way,
games.
Let me put it to you this way, Chance. Halo 6
Xbox 1.5 only. Then you'll be pissed.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that's what I'll be out buying it if that's the case.
Yeah.
Which, would really suck. I don't want that to be the case unless it's, a couple years down the road. I don't feel like I've gotten my money's worth, quite out of the Xbox One yet. I want it to stick around and be the exclusive console for 2 or 3 years yet. That'd be great. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what I want in an ideal situation.
What if they offer you a good a trade up deal? Like you get this much toward credit, maybe 150.
Well,
trades off half of it.
That's something. Obviously, I don't think I would just if it came out this year and I had to have it this year, I probably wouldn't keep the Xbox. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't keep the one I have and get the new one because it'd just be I'd have two of the same thing basically. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely trade in.
Maybe it's just me being an old man and complaining about things.
Well, and the difference is with when the Xbox One came out, they had a trade-in deal where you could trade in your 360 or your PlayStation 3 towards credit for an Xbox One, and that's something completely different. I wouldn't do that because I still have a bunch of 360 and PS3 games I haven't played yet. Whereas with this, it would be trading a piece of hardware for an upgraded version of the same hardware. So trading an Xbox One for a newer Xbox One. So it'd be the same if I were to take my 3DS to the store right now and say, "Give me some credit for this because I'm buying a new 3DS right now." It'd be the same transfer, even though my 3DS is probably worth a lot less compared to the new 3DS than original Xbox One to the newer version would be. The trade-in would be better. Whereas my old 3DS is a piece of crap, and they'd give me like $10 for it.
I still can't believe you have a white 360. That's insane.
Yeah, totally.
I went through 3 of those in the span of a year.
It red ringed once. I sent it in. They sent it back to me working, or they sent me a refurbed one. I don't know whichever it was.
Yeah.
And it's still the same old one. I stuck my hard drive back on top, and it's the same one I got. For all intents and purposes, it's the same one I've had since 2007.
Crazy.
Mine made it 5 years. Got red ringed. I did the quick fix that lets it live for an hour long, and I traded it in for the nice black slim model.
Yeah, and
let it go out.
I think they said wasn't too long ago that they're actually going to stop making 360s this year, and I think that I'm going to try to hold out, save up my pennies where I can, and eventually buy another 360, like a slim model, a new one, and try to transfer all my save and stuff, because it would be nice to have one I can actually depend on and not worry about just shooting craps any day. It's a gamble every time I turn that thing on at this point.
Or Microsoft could just say, hey, we're going to put this thing on the one that makes it backwards compatible with the 360.
Well, there's a lot of backwards compatible games now, but not all of them yet.
Oh.
So, but I don't know. It's kind of still a difficult thing, because with the backwards compatibility, the way it works is you don't actually play off the disc anymore. Like, you just, if the game is backwards compatible, you stick it in there and it registers the game, and then it downloads it from the server or whatever, and then it just installs it on your Xbox and takes up real estate on your hard drive. But you still have to have the disc in to play it as like a key, like on old PC games. Like, you had to have the disc in there to play it. So it's the same deal, but you're actually playing it from your hard drive, not from the disc.
Yeah.
So in some cases it's good, because hey, I've got this scratched up copy that barely plays on my 360, but if I throw it in my Xbox One and it registers, then I can just download it and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to rebuy the game.
Yeah.
But not all games are backwards compatible yet. Just some, but they're more become available all the time. So
you could probably get a Slim for less than the hassle of doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So it's still something I'll probably do, because there are definitely some games that are never going to be backwards compatible, because if it's not an Xbox or a Microsoft property, then it's something that you have to that the developer has to give permission to Microsoft in order to allow them to do it. So some of these like off the wall games, or maybe the developer isn't even around anymore necessarily, it's going to be harder for them to get the means necessary to allow them to put it on there. So
yeah. I think the developer not being around anymore is probably the more likely scenario.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'll get to play Clive Barker's Jericho on my Xbox One or not. Maybe, but I doubt it.
Oh man.
Or Too Human. I don't think I'll get to play Too Human on there.
That's one I haven't played. Remember when everyone was like, "Oh man, that developer's out. That game might be worth money soday," and everyone like went out and bought like $5 copies.
That's when I bought it. Of course. It's like, this game's gonna get rare. I need to buy this shit.
Good times.
Red Dead 2. That's another game I want to see.
See, that was actually not like such a fever dream. I think that one actually could like happen.
There's a lot of... I've seen some buzz on the internet about there being a Red Dead 2 announcement.
Yep. Hopefully it'll be at the Sony one, and it'll be awesome.
Which means I'm going to have to play Red Dead sometime this year.
Yep, it better.
There'll probably be some From Software game come out too.
Another one I want to see more on is Suda 51. They had a game they showed last year. It looked like a survival horror. Like there were level meters above enemies. Like it said level 16 above somebody. I don't know hardly nothing about it, but I'm a Suda 51 fan. Like to see more from whatever that game was. I also had a proud moment today as a dad. That I should share. As a world we live in today can get consumed, especially in the gaming world, by the visuals and graphics and how much a game we can get out of it as far as just graphically and all that stuff. My son plays the Wii U a lot all the time, playing him some Mario and stuff, so he sees what some great visuals look like. And eventually after you played the game so long, you want to play something new. So I was like, here. Handed them the Game Boy Advance SP. And I stuck in Mario and the 6 golden coins on the Game Boy. And here he is, just having a blast with this game. It's not the newest, coolest thing out, but he was just sitting there loving that he had Mario on a Game Boy Advance, just sitting there playing it, a Game Boy cartridge, and he was just loving it. And I was just sitting there, just tickled to death, like, that's my boy. Playing some good old Mario. Yeah. He doesn't need all the glitz and glamour, but it's just, it was cool that he was liking an older game. So,
yeah. Nice. Now, let him play Mario on the NES, and we'll see how he does.
we downloaded that. We got it downloaded on the Wii U. I don't think he turns it on much. Let's just say that.
Too hard.
It's crazy he's beaten 3D World and all those other new Super Mario Bros. He's beaten them all.
It's a different beast.
Yeah. Or Mega Man X, I have that downloaded. And I mean, getting past that first intro level is a chore for him on that. Yet he can beat 3D World.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 different play styles, totally different games. You can go a little bit slower in Mario. You gotta be a little bit quicker in some Mega Man action.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, guys. I think this makes for a good episode, though.
Yeah, it's it's pretty good. Other than you dropping calls all the time.
I hear my wife was watching True Grit. That's the movie we decided on her to watch. Or
True Grit?
The remake with
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah. And I hear, how if you put a Blu-ray DVD in, you just the title screen playing on loop. I've heard the title screen music playing for 20 minutes now on loop, so I guarantee you she's asleep on the couch.
Yeah. It's funny. We've been introducing Lily to some classics, and we threw in Beetlejuice. Nice PG Beetlejuice. And it gets to the part where they first introduce Beetlejuice, and after they leave the model, he kicks over his gravestone, turns around and goes, "Nice fucking model!" And we're we both looked at each other totally forgot that F-bomb was in there. Yeah. That's it's an 80s PG. You can get away with a lot back then. But yeah, it's one of the few PG movies that has a F-bomb in it.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
Huh. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
There's an older Mel Gibson movie, one of his earlier ones, that takes place. He was like a pirate or something, and they get on this island. There's totally like a bunch of naked women running around everywhere. So, you have a lot of stuff with PG back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good place to call it a night, and maybe, in about 3 weeks or so, we could do another one. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Q2 4 months later, huh?
If we could beat the last stretch of 2 months, I think we'd be on to something. So yeah, baby steps.
Has it been 2 months since the last episode?
When I went to check out the name of the last video, that's how bad it is, folks. We can't remember what number episodes we're on, so I went back to look at the date.
We should be on like a number 100 or something, but we're only in the 30s still.
Yeah, we've been doing this since I've been on it since 2012. So
yeah, it's whoops,
pretty bad there.
Well, 1 a month, 4 years. We're getting around in 4 years. I think we started in 2000. No, I started YouTube in 2011. Maybe it was 2012 because you came on pretty quick, Chance, after we started. So we should be up to like 48 episodes.
I think my first
4 years,
was episode 6. I think.
Yeah. So I guess we're not too far off.
Yeah, but I think
1 a month.
We were doing more than one in a month. I think.
Yeah.
For a
back when we were young and had no responsibilities.
Oh, I had responsibilities. I was just ignoring them.
Yeah.
And they caught up with me.
YouTube's a young man's game.
It really is.
It really is.
I was not to throw us off on another tangent because we're trying to wrap up, but I was thinking about that. When we're all kind of having this conversation about how we're all just kind of falling out of it just a little bit. It's like, man, I feel like it's different now than when it was when we all kind of started doing this.
It's completely different now.
And it's not nearly as much fun anymore. It's no longer exciting to me.
Yeah.
And it's still exciting to watch like the people that I like, watch their videos and they're making great content and stuff. But I don't know, like when I first started doing it, it was a lot more exciting. I was pumped about making videos. And I wanted to get out there. As soon as I beat a game, I recorded a video and because I wanted to talk about it right then and there. And it's just like, man, I've lost that. So yeah.
Well, it's like you go on there and you talk about a game, and then you start like you post the video and you sit back and you wait, and then you're like, oh yeah, someone's commented on it. You look at it and you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And something like that, and it's like, good. Are you kidding me? Like, I honestly, I just can't imagine how boring these people's lives are. That's what they like. Oh, I'm just going to sit here watch a video and then fucking trash it. Like, I don't got anything better to do with my life. I don't
know.
I'm done.
Because you linked that post that I think is on one of your most recent videos. I forgot what it said now, but someone did like you.
It just said you're a fucking idiot, and I just wrote back. I know you are, but what am I? It's just so but it's that way with everything. It seems like people just get like nasty for no fucking reason. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just biased in that I feel like when we started doing this, we made some really good friends, and we all still kind of talk to those friends, and then it's just I've grown stale of trying to further that.
We've turned into old men. We're set in our ways, and we want to keep it that way.
Got my comfort zone, and I'm not coming out.
Yeah.
The excitement of the new is kind of it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I've been doing it for 5 years. I started in 2011, so
Yeah, and a lot of it when I first started too was like before prices of things got so inflated. So learning about new games and like going out and trying to find them and stuff was a lot bigger thing. And now it's like I could give a shit. I'm not going game hunting.
Yeah, no kidding.
If I want something, I'll buy it. And that's the way it's going to be. And I'm not going to worry about hunting or trying to find a good deal on something.
Once you get to a certain point, you really just can't hunt anymore because it's like only thing you're finding is stuff you already have
or don't want.
So it's like the really hard stuff that you're really looking for is behind a glass counter with like a $300 price tag on it. And you're like, I'm leaving. I got bills to pay.
Exactly. So yeah, grumpy old men is a good
good analogy. Yeah,
good analogy for my situation anyway.
Yeah.
Too bad we used that title in an episode already.
That was episode 3. We were grumpy.
I was just gonna say there was a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
I was saying we're 3 episodes in. We were grumpy old. We were complaining about back then about how things weren't as good then as they were back in the day. I think that was the episode.
And now we're complaining about stuff that happened 4 years ago.
And now we're doing it again. It's the circle of life. Here we go.
I think back then it might have been about DLC and crap and how you get
it probably was. And now we're like, oh man, I can't wait for the DLC to come out. And there was an episode where I remember there was an episode where we were like, oh god, I hate digital media. Let's just keep it physical. Now we're like, oh boy, digital stuff. Woo!
Get all the PS2 games out.
Oh my god.
That's kids. That's part of growing up. You sell out your ideals.
I was just having that conversation about the digital stuff and saying that especially for Doom too, because I pre-ordered from Amazon and it didn't come on release day, and I was pissed. And my wife called and complained to Amazon. It's like, we pre-ordered this. There was no reason it shouldn't have been here today. So I ended up getting a $30 discount on it on top of the Prime discount. So I only paid $15 for Doom. But
where's my instant gratification?
No kidding. But I'm just saying, if I had pre-ordered it digitally, I could have downloaded it ahead of time and had it available to play immediately. And I'm thinking, man, maybe I should have done that. It's amazing how quickly things change.
Yeah. Well, it's like me. Most of my music I buy nowadays is on, through iTunes, or Bandcamp, and the few rare albums that I actually buy physical, I buy on vinyl.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
All right, we can end our tangents now and actually end the episode.
Yeah.
This True Grit thing's getting on my nerves. I want to turn it off.
No, let's just keep going. Let's do another 5-hour episode.
Yeah, what else can we talk about?
Yeah, so listen to the True Grit menu music. That'd be great. All right, well, let's call it before Steven goes postal over there.
He's going to hang up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Good night, gentlemen. Good episode.
Good night. Yes. Very good.
Good night.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
But most importantly, good night.
Okay.